Hello, dear listener. Welcome to Calm Cloud Chronicles, where imagination drifts and stories unfold. Sit back, relax, and let the journey begin. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more soothing tales. The River of Time. The night stretched long and deep, blanketing the world in velvety darkness. Beneath a sky threaded with silver, the river of time whispered its ancient song, flowing endlessly through realms seen and unseen. It was not a river of water, nor one bound by the constraints of space. It wound through memory and longing, through dreams lost and dreams yet to come. It carried with it the weight of centuries and the hush of countless voices, murmuring secrets to the stars. On its quiet banks stood a traveler. They did not know how they arrived, only that their heart felt lighter here, their burdens slipping away like petals on the current. The air hummed with a gentle pulse, a rhythm that soothed their weary thoughts. There was no rush, no urgency, only the soft cadence of flowing time, inviting them to listen. The traveler dipped their hand into the river. It was warm and cool all at once, like the touch of an old friend. As their fingers brushed the surface, ripples spread outward, and with them came glimpses of lives intertwined with the river's endless journey. A scholar hunched over parchment beneath the glow of candlelight, tracing the stars in careful ink strokes. A dancer twirled beneath the flickering lanterns of a forgotten city, laughter spilling through the alleys like a melody. A child held their grandparent's hand, walking slowly along a winding path, each footstep echoing with love and remembrance. The traveler watched, mesmerized, as these moments drifted past, woven together by the gentle current. They felt no sorrow, no yearning, only quiet understanding. Every life touched this river, every soul left behind echoes that never truly vanished. Time did not steal, nor did it forget. It carried, it cradled, it sang. A soft voice stirred the stillness. "Walk with me," it said. The traveler turned to find an old storyteller seated upon a stone. Their eyes held the wisdom of 1,000 lifetimes, yet their smile was as fresh as dawn. Beside them lay a book, bound in deep blue leather that shimmered like the midnight sky. The storyteller gestured to the river. "Do you see?" The traveler nodded. This is the river where everything flows, where all stories find their way home. The storyteller ran their fingers over the book's worn cover. Would you like to hear one? And so, as the river whispered and the stars listened, the storyteller spoke of journeys taken and lessons learned, of love that never faded and dreams that never truly ended. The traveler sat beside them, enveloped in the warmth of words that felt like lullabies. Time stretched and softened until the traveler could no longer tell where the river ended and where they began. And there, under the hush of eternity, the world drifted into sleep. The storyteller turned a page in their deep blue book, their fingers brushing the inked surface like a gentle breeze across the water. Their voice, a hush within the quiet night, carried each word into the river's flow, where memories gathered like drifting lanterns. The traveler sat beside them, knees drawn up, listening, letting the story settle into the spaces between their thoughts. The river remembers, the storyteller murmured. It carries everything forward, but nothing is truly lost. The traveler traced the ripples with their fingertips, watching the reflections shift. Distant faces appearing, lives unfolding, dreams rising and falling like the tide. They wondered if somewhere within its depths, their own past echoed, waiting to be seen. And then the current shifted. The water stirred, curling around a new story, one woven into the very fabric of time. A city emerged from the quiet depths, its towers stretching toward the heavens like golden vines. This was Somnaval, the city of remembered dreams, where forgotten wishes floated like stars in the canals, where every bridge led to a moment that had shaped someone's heart. The traveler watched in wonder as they stepped forward. The storyteller followed, their book tucked beneath one arm, their smile knowing. "The river has brought you here," they said. "Perhaps it carries something for you." The traveler walked slowly along the marble streets, past windows that flickered with glimpses of memory. A girl painting a sunrise with colors never seen before. A musician playing a melody that softened sorrow. An elder laughing in the glow of candlelight, their joy wrapped in the presence of family. Every alley held echoes. Every doorway hummed with stories. And yet, nothing asked to be claimed. It was all simply there, existing beyond time, awaiting nothing, demanding nothing. Then, upon reaching the quiet heart of the city, The traveller saw it, a bridge unlike any other. Its pillars were carved from moonlight, its arch lined with silver-threaded ivy. And beyond it, the river shimmered, soft, steady, endless. The storyteller stood beside them. This is the bridge of returning. The traveller frowned. Returning where? The storyteller's gaze held eternity. To yourself. And so, the traveller stepped forward. As their foot touched the first stone, something stirred deep within. The river swirled, and the city blurred into mist. One by one, moments unfolded, like petals unfurling beneath gentle hands. A child's laughter in the arms of someone safe. A long-forgotten dream, pulsing with the heartbeat of possibility. A quiet strength, grown from sorrow but never defeated. The traveller closed their eyes. Breathe in, the river seemed to say. Breathe in all that has been, all that is, all that will be. And with that breath, with the hush of flowing time cradling them in its arms, they stepped forward, into renewal, into remembrance, into the quiet knowing that nothing was ever truly lost. The river carried them onward, and the night stretched long and deep, weaving eternity into its lullaby. The traveller did not know how long they had been walking. Time within this realm was not measured by hours or days. It was felt like the hush of a lullaby threading through the night air, like the rhythm of the river's endless whisper. As their feet touched the final stones of the bridge of returning, the mist parted, revealing a quiet shoreline bathed in soft moonlight. The river widened here, stretching toward unseen horizons, its waters deep with stories yet to unfold. The storyteller smiled knowingly. "You have stepped forward," they said, setting their blue book upon a wooden bench that seemed to have been waiting for them both. "Now, it is time to listen." And so, the traveller Saturday. Here, upon the quiet shore of remembrance, voices rose, not loud or commanding, but gentle, woven into the rippling waves. Each one carried a message from the current of time itself. A voice like distant stars, you are more than what was lost. You carry everything forward. A voice like leaves in autumn, regret is heavy only when clutched too tightly. Release it, and it will turn to wisdom. A voice like early dawn, you are still becoming. The river does not rush. Neither must you. The traveler closed their eyes, feeling the lull of the voices settle into them like a quiet heartbeat. The weight they did not realize they had been carrying lightened, breath by breath, ripple by ripple. And then the river shifted once more. From the horizon, something emerged, a small boat, carved from the wood of ancient trees, its frame lined with soft lanterns that glowed like resting fireflies. No one guided it, yet it moved with purpose, gliding toward them as though it had always known they would be here. The storyteller's voice was warm, steady. This is the vessel of dreaming. The traveler touched the edge of the boat, feeling its smooth surface, watching as the lanterns flickered in quiet welcome. It carries those ready to drift deeper, the storyteller continued. It moves where the river needs it to go. The traveler hesitated, but the hesitation was not fear. It was the feeling of standing at the threshold of something vast, something waiting to unfold. And so they stepped into the boat. The storyteller did not follow. Instead, they simply watched, their hands resting upon the blue book, their smile lingering like the light of a fading star. "You will return," they whispered. "The river always carries its travelers home." As the boat moved, carried effortlessly by the lull of flowing time, the traveler lay back against the soft cushions, gazing at the sky where constellations shimmered like distant memories. The gentle hum of water lulled them further, into dreams, into peace, into the quiet knowing that they were exactly where they needed to be. And the river carried them onward. The boat drifted silently, its wooden frame cradled by the gentle lull of the river. The traveler lay back, feeling the hush of flowing time settle over them like a comforting embrace. The lanterns flickered softly, casting a warm glow upon the water, and the stars overhead shimmered like whispers of the universe itself. For a moment, perhaps a moment that stretched beyond time, the traveler simply breathed, letting themselves sink into the rhythm of the river's pulse. Then the boat slowed. From the depths of the current, something began to rise. Not land, not city, but a realm woven from mist and memory, a sanctuary that existed only within the river's dreamlike embrace. The traveler sat up as the boat glided to a stop, brushing against a dock that was neither solid nor shifting. It simply was, waiting as if it had been expecting their arrival. The moment their feet touched the surface, the air stirred with voices. Not loud, not chaotic, just soft, like echoes carried upon the wind, like gentle waves brushing the shore. They were voices of those who had walked this river before, those who had learned from its whispers, carried its lessons, and left behind fragments of wisdom for others to find. A voice like twilight murmured, "You are allowed to rest." A voice like a hidden garden whispered, "There is time enough for everything. You do not need to carry urgency." A voice like distant laughter said, "You are not made of past mistakes. You are made of the moments you choose to keep." The traveler let each voice settle into them, shaping the quiet spaces within their heart. Then, from the mist, figures emerged, not fully formed, not bound by the strict edges of reality, but luminous beings woven from the river's glow. They did not demand attention. They simply stood, waiting, watching with eyes full of knowing. The traveler stepped forward, feeling no fear, only curiosity, only calm. One of the figures, a tall presence wrapped in the color of early dawn, extended their hand. "Would you like to walk with us?" The traveler hesitated, then nodded. And so they walked, through halls carved from starlight, beneath arches lined with whispered affirmations, past doorways leading into dreams untouched by time. Every step carried new understanding. Every moment unraveled a layer of burdens the traveler hadn't realized they had been holding. They were allowed to move forward. They were allowed to exist without the weight of yesterday pressing into their bones. And when they reached the heart of the sanctuary, the river itself spoke, not with words, but with its gentle, unending presence. It told them, "You are carried forward, always. You are never lost." The traveler closed their eyes, breathed in, and let go. The traveler stood in the heart of the sanctuary of echoing voices, feeling lighter, as if the burdens they had carried for so long had dissolved into the quiet hum of the river. Each whispered affirmation, each step taken beneath the sanctuary's starlit halls had unraveled something within them, releasing what had been held too tightly, soothing the edges of lingering thoughts. And yet, the journey was not finished. The river had more to show them, more to carry forward. As they stepped once more onto the dock, the vessel of dreaming awaited. Its lanterns flickered in quiet welcome, casting warm pools of light upon the rippling waters. The traveler climbed aboard, sinking into its cushions, letting their breath fall into rhythm with the gentle pull of the current. With no command, no push, the boat began to drift once more, moving toward a place unseen, unspoken, yet waiting all the same. The stars above shimmered as they traveled, and the river's voice softened, shifting into something deeper, more hypnotic. The traveler closed their eyes. And as they did, the river carried them into another realm. The boat slowed. The air carried the scent of ink, parchment, and morning mist, the kind of quiet fragrance that accompanied a story waiting to unfold. When the traveler opened their eyes, they found themselves at the entrance of a vast library, its towering shelves stretching beyond sight, beyond time. Soft candlelight flickered in golden pools along the polished floors, and the air itself hummed with quiet expectation. Stepping forward, the traveler felt the hush of thousands of books, not the weight of knowledge past, but the presence of stories yet to be told. At the center of the library stood a figure, a keeper, their robes stitched from the fabric of twilight, their hands resting upon an open ledger. Their gaze lifted as the traveler approached, warm and knowing. "You have arrived," the keeper murmured. "And so, it is time." The traveler blinked. Time for what? The keeper gestured to the endless shelves surrounding them. "These are the tomorrows that have not yet been written." The traveler frowned. How can they exist if they have not been written? The keeper smiled. Because possibility exists before choice. And here, within the archive, every possibility lingers before it takes shape. The traveler stared at the countless books, the endless unwritten pages that seemed to pulse with quiet life. And then, the keeper handed them a single blank page. "You may write," they said softly, "or simply listen." The traveler hesitated, then let their fingers brush the page. And as they did, voices stirred, not loud, not insistent, but gentle, offering fragments of paths they might choose, roads they might walk. A future wrapped in soft laughter. A journey that led to the quiet peace of understanding. A dream waiting just beyond the horizon, untouched yet possible. The traveler closed their eyes, absorbing the presence of it all, not as pressure, not as urgency, but as reassurance that time would hold space for them always. The river, flowing ever onward, whispered through the library's corridors. You are allowed to shape what comes next. The traveller exhaled, setting the page down upon the keeper's desk. And the book before them remained unwritten, waiting, patient, infinite. The journey continued. The traveller lingered in the archive of unwritten tomorrows, letting the quiet hum of possibility settle into their thoughts. The weight of past expectations, fears, and hesitations had softened, replaced by the knowledge that time did not demand, only offered. The keeper nodded as if sensing this understanding. You carry forward what you choose, they murmured, and the river will honor your journey. The traveller stepped back onto the vessel of dreaming, feeling the boat shift, guided by unseen currents that whispered promises of the next destination. The lanterns flickered softly, casting warm pools of light upon the rippling waters. And then the stars above shimmered, adjusting, realigning. The boat slowed. A new realm unfolded, woven from quiet starlight and the hush of endless space. Here, beneath the boundless expanse of night, constellations rested, not shining fiercely, not demanding attention, but simply existing, their glow pulsing in slow, rhythmic waves. The traveller stepped onto the shore, where the ground felt like woven silk beneath their feet, where the sky stretched endlessly, inviting not action, but stillness. A presence stood before them, not human, not formed from rigid definition, but something vast, like the night itself given quiet voice. You have travelled far, the presence said, their words gentle, weightless. And now you may rest. The traveller hesitated. I don't know if I. But the presence shook their head. Rest is not earned. It is given freely whenever you choose to accept it. A hush settled over the traveller. And so they sat, sinking into the silk-like ground, feeling the river's pulse slow to match the rhythm of the stars. Each constellation hummed with quiet knowledge, lessons carried across galaxies, messages woven into light. One star whispered, "You are allowed to pause. The journey does not end, only breathes." Another murmured, "You are enough as you are. Not as you should be, not as you were." simply as you are. A final star hummed, "Tomorrow will come gently. Let it arrive in its own time." The traveler lay back, exhaling, feeling the universe shift, not dramatically, not insistently, but softly, as if holding space for them always. Above, the stars continued their quiet pulse, and the river carried them onward. The traveler rested beneath the pulsing glow of the haven of resting stars, letting the hush of distant constellations settle into their thoughts. The river's lull had softened, cradling them in a rhythm that asked for nothing but quiet presence. Time did not press forward here. It simply was, stretching infinitely yet gently, holding space for all that needed to unfold. And then, as if sensing the shift within them, the river stirred. The boat drifted onward, pulling away from the sanctuary of resting stars, carrying the traveler toward the final place, the final understanding before the journey's completion. The air thickened with warmth, like the embrace of dawn. A glow pulsed from the horizon. And as the traveler gazed ahead, the river revealed its final destination. It was not a grand palace, nor a towering monument. It was a home, simple, warm, woven from quiet familiarity. A place that felt like memory and promise all at once. A gentle fire flickered at its heart, casting golden light upon walls lined with small mementos, soft blankets, and shelves brimming with well-loved books. The traveler stepped inside, feeling no hesitation, no uncertainty. A figure awaited, not an unknown presence, not a cosmic guide, but someone they recognized instantly. The traveler stared. It was themselves. Not exactly as they were, not precisely as they had been, but as they could be, whole, content, unworried by the weight of expectation. The other them smiled. "Welcome home." The traveler swallowed. "Is this?" The warmth within the space pulsed. The fire crackled softly. And the answer did not need to be spoken. It was home. Not a place of beginnings, not an ending, but a return, a gentle conclusion to the journey, one that had always led back to themselves. The traveler sank into a chair by the hearth, breathing deeply, feeling every part of their story settle, finally, peacefully. "You have always belonged here," their reflection murmured. "Time does not take you away. It only carries you forward. The traveler closed their eyes. Let go. And in the hush of golden firelight, in the quiet of returning, they rested. The traveler sat by the hearth, their reflection beside them, the golden firelight flickering gently. This was not a grand revelation, not an earth-shattering realization. It was quiet, familiar, warm. The kind of understanding that settled deep, asking for nothing, simply being there. The river's lull had softened, its whispers now a hum woven into the walls of this place. It had carried them far, through sanctuaries of starlight, through archives of possibility, through echoes of wisdom whispered by unseen voices. And now it had brought them home. The reflection beside them, their mirror, their guide, their future and past intertwined, smiled. You do not need to hold on to time, they murmured. It holds you, always. The traveler exhaled, feeling the weight of the journey dissolve, replaced by something lighter, something gentler. And so, they let their body sink deeper into the chair, feeling the warmth of the hearth settle over them like a quiet embrace. A deep inhale, a soft exhale. The fire crackled, golden embers rising, drifting, fading. The river pulsed in steady rhythm, the hush of its lull carrying forward. The stars outside shimmered, steady and waiting. Sleep arrived, not sudden, not rushed, but in slow waves, cradling them in the gentle hum of the universe. And the river carried them onward. The traveler drifted deeper into sleep, their body sinking into the warmth of the hearth, the gentle lull of the river wrapping around them like a quiet embrace. The firelight flickered in slow, steady pulses, as if breathing with them, rising and falling in rhythm with each inhale, each exhale. The crackling embers whispered soft echoes into the space, reminders of words carried from distant sanctuaries, from constellations resting in the heavens, from the quiet truths found along the journey. The river hummed in the background, its song woven into the space between dreams and waking, a melody of quiet reassurance, carrying them forward, always forward. You are safe. You are held. You are carried forward, gently, effortlessly. There is nothing to chase. Nothing to prove, nothing to force. The stars do not rush their glow. The tide does not worry for its return. The river does not ask where it flows. It simply moves, trusting the path ahead. And so may you. The fire softened, dimming ever so slightly, as sleep wove its way through the traveller's limbs, through their thoughts, through the hush of the room that had always been waiting. No weight remained. No urgency pressed upon them. Only warmth, only rest, only the quiet knowing that tomorrow would arrive, gently, in its own time. The river, ever steady, whispered its final lullaby, and carried them onward. Thank you for being a part of Calm Cloud Chronicles. What kind of stories help you relax the most? Please let us know in comments below. If you enjoyed this story, let us know by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Until next time, stay peaceful and keep dreaming.